And welcome back to All Over the Map. Thanks for tuning in. On this episode, it is British Town Centers on GeoGuessr episode number 15. So, we're going to play this one as a no time limit moving challenge. And the play along link for those of you that want to play along will be in the description below. And I'm going to do a Wikipedia. So, whatever town that we discover or explore, I'm going to look up at Wikipedia just to see the population, the county it's in. Got to learn more about these town centers and these towns than just seeing it on GeoGuessr. So here we are, the first round. We got Cowgate, the Olympia Leisure Park. I said leisure, we say leisure. I say potato, you say potato. And can or tea? Okay, so I'm going to guess the Olympia. I probably should look Dundee. So we're in Dundee, Scotland. Yeah, they put the town name at the bottom. All right. Okay. I guess kind of makes sense, but we go to Scotland for the first round. Dundee, Scotland is where we are. We've been to Dundee a couple times, I think. I'm not sure in this. Maybe we have. Maybe town centers. Nando's, Castle Street. We got Cowgate. Okay, so Cowgate is the street that we're on. And the road, whatever you want to call it, I guess. The High Street. And Cowgate, here we are. The East Port Car Park, but Cowgate is here. The Daisy Tasker, Scottish food. What would be Scottish food? Is that like haggis? And what else would constitute iron brew? Yeah, I don't know. I guess we're here, right? Like, the townhouse. St. Andrews and Cowgate. Okay. Where's St. Andrews? It continues over here. Actually, like continue somewhere else. The townhouse. We're right about there on Panmure Street. Dundee, Scotland. So let's look up Dundee real quick. Dundee, one of the larger cities, I guess, in this game. The mid-year population in 2020 was 148,210. Under the name of Dundee City, it forms one of the 32 council areas for local government in Scotland. It is within the boundaries of the historic county of Angus, and the city developed into a burgh. When I see burgh, I think of Pittsburgh. There's the coat of arms, the flag, and was founded in the 11th century. Burgh Charter 1191, city status in 1889, and they're called Dundonians. So there are. If you learn something, learn that folks from Dundee, there's the skyline, are called Dundonians. So always interesting there. So Dundee for the first round. The Royal Navy. The Coast Guard. It almost looks like the Faroe Islands flag, if I'm thinking correctly, a little bit, although it's centered like a St. George's cross. And then got the anchor for the Navy. This looks northern. I don't know why. It just looks like a northern, either northern town in England or So where's the water? The water is looking to the north. Ooh, could be Scotland again. Um, the Northumberland Seafood. The Dave Gray Puffin Cruises, booking by phone, boat trips to Coquet Island. So you want to see puffins? There you go, on this location, and didn't know there was puffins around. Quayside Fish and Chips, the Harbor Hatch Coffee Tea, but the Golden Harbor, so there's the Amble Harbor. So maybe this is the Amble Harbor. Puffin Cruises. And Amble. So maybe we're the town of Amble. The news agent. Is that a big thing anymore? A news agent, where I would presume you get your newspapers. Are newspapers still a thing? Now, what's interesting is I used to read newspapers as a kid, loved to read sports and all that stuff, sport, but it's kind of faded out, right? Like, because we got everything online. Obviously, New York Times, Washington Post in the United States, the Telegraph. Now, I see all these things, right? But how many people that are watching this right now get a daily newspaper or read the newspaper in print version or go to a news agent? I guess now you go to a news agent to get sweets and stuff. But anyway, just curious about that. I will say my father still gets a Sunday paper. And yeah, I guess it's good for something, someone, I guess. But I just read all that stuff. Get the news. If I need to get the news, just go. You can find it right away on many different sources. So the news agent in Amble in kickboxing. Oh, I've done kickboxing in the past, folks. It's probably, from a workout perspective, do a circuit kickboxing. It's probably the best workout one could get. In fact, I might go to do a boxing class at my gym this weekend. Need to stay in shape. All right, I need to find where Amble is. I'm kind of like losing focus here. Focus. All right. Is that St. George's Cross up there? It is. Well, maybe. Hold on. Just make sure it's not the flag of Northern Ireland. Nope. It is England, so presume we're in England. Or, well, we're in the northeast. All right, let's see a green sign up here. Might help. That's not the green sign I'm looking for. I was looking for the green sign that tells us what road we're on, like the A60, whatever. All right, so gotta run into Ashington, the coastal route. Warkworth. The Amble Inn. Look at that. Alnwick. I know this Alnwick. I just can't think. Hmm. Ay, 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 ay. There's Warkworth and Amble. Here we are. The Amble Harbor. What a cool place this. I'm going to see something real quick. I'm going to drop it here, but let me go across. Yeah, Denmark. So let's go back to start. Like, what's interesting is I was looking at like that type of landscape over here, and it reminded me of the coast when I've done these GeoGuessr games of Denmark. So always, straight across is pretty interesting there. Probably just whatever. All right, so the Puffins. Where are we going to find out where the Puffins are? Northumberland. Wow, I didn't realize it was going to take this long. The firehouse. That guy doesn't look too happy. So there we are, Amble. Took us a little long to get there, but we're going to find Amble, this town and civil parish, the North Sea, coast of Northumberland, at the mouth of the River Coquette. Population 5,860 in Northumberland, and there we are. So the Amble Golf Club was founded in 1910, but then disappeared. For some reason, it disappeared. Anyway, so Amble for the second round and third round. We've got a coffee shop. Turn back to discover Cornwall's visitor attraction of the year, the National Maritime Museum in Cornwall. We've got the different flags. There's a flag of Cornwall. Warning, forklift trucks are operating. And all right, so sourdough pizza. The Dog and Smuggler. Falmouth. Look at that boat there. So we're in the Falmouth Harbor. That's where we are. The Beer Wolf Books. Say that 5 times. The grapes. I think the grapes of wrath. The grapes in Falmouth. Booze, Coos, Burger, Shakes, and Tex-Mex. What a place. What a place. God, I got to get to these places. I have to go in person and do a video, do something, visit these locations. And the only way they could get there is going to have to hit these like. It's going to have to hit like, share, subscribe. All right, so Falmouth, looking northeast, which I just need to find the street. Trago. Nice buildings here. The 5 and palm trees. Look at that. There's big palm trees. Nice. The Windjammer Cafe and bar. So we need to find where the Windjammer is down here. I think Trago Mills. There's the Windjammer, but we're not there. We're near the coffee shop. The Trago's smaller in-town store. And all right, so Trago Mills. We are Henry's. I think the Dog and the Smuggler. So I think we're. Wait. Yeah, so a little further southeast. And there we are in Falmouth. So look it up. I know there's a Falmouth in Massachusetts, maybe. It is Falmouth, but we're going to Falmouth, Cornwall. Pretty cool city. It's a port on the River Thal on the south coast of Cornwall. It was founded in 1613 by the Killigrew family on a site near the castle of Pendennis and in the southwest. Here's an interesting tidbit. In the late 16th century, under threat from the Spanish Armada, defenses of Pendennis were strengthened by the building of angled ramparts. During the Civil War, the castle was the second to last fort to surrender to the Parliamentary Army. Then Sir John Killigrew created the town shortly thereafter. So pretty interesting, I guess, history there. Jacob's Ladder. It's a song, Jacob's Ladder, right? An 1840s flight of mostly dressed granite steps. We've been in Falmouth, I believe, before in one of the games. But anyway, Jacob's Ladder, I think, was a song. Was it? I think it's Huey Lewis and the News. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Anyway, on to the next. We got trees growing out of a building. It's fun. Like, how do trees grow out of? I guess it's the gutters or whatever you call these things. We call them gutters. I always find that interesting, but you know, things are going to grow everywhere. Don't take care of it. The Harrow Free House. Got some boarded up location here. The Vaults. General Waste Biffa. Welcome to Club Lloyd's. It's always a bank. Ah, the trees are smaller. Look at that on that building. You choose. Ilkeston. I guess maybe that's where we are. Got the church, the observatory, which is a J.D. Weatherspoon place. One of the things I like is you're in a college town or a town and it's like, you're a kid and it's like, hey, Mom, Dad, I'm going to the library. The library is a pub in a lot of different college towns in the United States. So you can legitimately say, hey, I'm going to the library, right? So I don't know if that's kind of the same thing. You got that stuff going on in England or Scotland. We got 777 casino slots. And what's the town? Britain in Bloom, UK finalist. What is that? Is that like the tidy towns of Ireland? Is that the similar concept? All right, green light means go. We've got to go. We've got to find pork and beef. Stacy's Bakery. The Prince of Wales. All right, so where are we? Where is this location? Ilkeston. Okay, so we got the M1, 610. The M1. Sheffield. I saw Sheffield was docked 2 points or something. I just saw that like this morning. What is, again, we'll bring up some random stuff from time to time, but what is that about? What is that? Is that something happened with Sheffield United? All right, here's Ilkeston on the outskirts of Nottingham. Well, it's interesting that I bring up the library in college towns because I believe Nottingham is a university town or whatever you call it. We call it college, university town. But here we are, Ilkeston. Am I pronouncing that right? Probably not. Prince of Wales, okay. Stacey's Bakery, Hogarth's, and the Lloyd's Bank, and there's the observatory, and I think we're around here. The Borough Arms, the Harrow is still in business. Wonder if they still got the trees. Anybody know if the trees are still there? So anybody can confirm that these trees are still on top of the Harrow and the Harrow pub. You can have a pint, and on top of the building are little trees. The Vaults is, we're right out in front of Pam's beauty studio here. Pam needs a new sign. Hopefully Pam has a new sign. Wonder if Pam's watching this. Anyway, we're going to look up Ilkeston, Derbyshire, in the borough of Erewash. The population of 40,953. Its major industries: coal mining, ironworking, lace making, textiles have now all but disappeared. I don't think there's any more coal mining in the UK, which is interesting. Okay, so an Ilkestonian is what you're called if you're from Ilkeston. Yeah, so steel, spa baths are in this town. Railway, football, Ilkeston town was liquidated. Ooh, after a 114-year history, which another one was liquidated. And the new club, Ilkeston Town Football Club, founded by the former owner of Notts County, replaced anyway, so there we are. And the Elks, the rugby union club, cricket club. So there we are, Ilkeston, for the fifth round of this 15th episode of British Town Centers. We're going to try to explore every town, and I feel like hopefully people like this Wikipedia search because I want to find out more about these towns. There's like so many things to see and explore. I feel like really in UK and the towns of the UK, like this interesting Sainsbury's grocery store. That's an interesting architecture. I think somebody's should be standing there. Then we got the Crown Pub next to us. The Crown Pub with a cool style, right? Kids running to her mother. M&Co. We got exotic, aquatic, and domestic. Exotic, aquatic, and you need another term. That's got to be like some type of rap song or something. Exotic, aquatic, okay, so we're Littlehampton. The Dolphin. So we're in the town, I would presume, of Littlehampton. The Dolphin Pub. What is this? This looks like a lighthouse or something with a clock on it. Seems to happen a lot in the United States. One or two reasons. Our seniors, our elders are always sitting in the town observing things going on. My dad could be found doing this different times throughout different parts of the United States. Or, if you're like me, I don't like to shop. I'll sit here and people watch. So if anybody's shopping, that is not my thing. Likes that, it's not my thing. But you could find me on a spot like that on a nice sunny day. So here we are. We've got a pretty cool town here, location, and Littlehampton, I think, is where we are. But there's the Royal Mail. Every time I see that Royal Mail truck, for whatever reason, my mind goes to, there was an episode of Mr. Bean. I watched pretty much all the Mr. Beans. When I think they had like a truck, or like he put a kid into like one of those trucks that like bounced around or whatever. If you know, you know. If not, sorry, I can't help you. But it was Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean. Littlehampton Station. Well, that's pretty cool. Littlehampton. It looks like he may be screaming on the phone. But there's the train station. There's another Royal Mail truck. Now we're on the sidewalk, walking. Take a little tour of Littlehampton. Wow, got some sailboats. We're near the water. The steam packet. The England coastal path. I saw that in the first round. The coastal, what is a coastal path? Is it like something you could walk, like from all the way Newcastle down to the, or is it just a road? Like, what is the England coastal path? Or is it, I kind of okay. Bognor Regis, Worthing. I don't know why I'm over here, what that's all about. Maybe I moved it by accident, but I feel like Bognor Regis was over here somewhere. I remember it's even like a weird, again, probably wrong on this one. Bognor Regis, the A259. Well, that's going to help. Maybe we're not. Where's it down here? There it is on the south coast. Littlehampton is where we are. Harbor Park Amusements. Amusement Park's probably opening soon. Summer coming. There's the Sainsbury's, the Crown, and the Portuguese Grill. So we are the Dolphin, looking south. The Dolphin, it's a sports bar. So the Millennium Clock Tower is what that is. We're looking north to Sainsbury's, and why isn't that showing? Oh, it's up there, Sainsbury's. Okay, so there we are. It's Littlehampton. It's 5,000 points. It is 25,000 on this game. Hopefully you got 25,000. But before we end this episode, let's look up Littlehampton, the town in West Sussex. It's a seaside resort. It is 52 miles south-southwest of London, 19 miles west of Brighton, the Littlehampton Harbor, the town of 55,000 people there. A human settlement, Littlehampton, can be traced back to prehistoric and Roman times, while it appears in the Domesday Book of 1086 as Hamlet of Hantone. All right, I'm probably pronouncing a lot of that wrong. The Littlehampton port. Any other big things going on in Littlehampton? Not really, but it's been on screen in several episodes of different British TV series. And the last thing, the East Beach Cafe. What an interesting design. Let's take a look at this. That's an interesting design for a cafe. So that's what I'll leave you with. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be, but there we are. It's Littlehampton. It's British Town Centers, episode 15. Hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, hit the like button. Until next time, cheers.